right here on a new place that we're moving in, and so I'm gonna show you around. So today we're gonna be discussing some home tips, feng shui tips, and vastu tips. Okay, and I'll show you around, and we will discuss along the way how to pick a place, what are the good positions of a place that, let's say, if you're choosing a place to live in, or if you're moving into a new home, so, or you're trying to move to a different home and you're trying to pick a place. So, since we're moving, I thought that it would be a great opportunity to teach some of the tips of choosing a home using Feng Shui or Vastu in Hindu, and also try to walk you through the process of moving, of preparing to move into your new home. So choosing a new home and preparing to move into your new home, and how to make your home auspicious. So I would say that this is a great opportunity to show you what's the best way to make your home living situation energetically aligned and also auspicious. And along the way, we'll discuss the things that are inauspicious. Okay. As you can see, there's kind of an echo because the room is still empty. So I'm starting this video series from scratch. Okay, so I intended to make this video in our previous place, but unfortunately I got caught up with a lot of things, so I had to put it in the back burner. But since we're moving again, so since the pandemic, we've been moving from place to place. So there's kind of I shouldn't say this, a cycle of movements, but it's a good movement, if you ask me. Okay, so we're moving to this place, and I wanted to show you how to apply Feng Shui, also use Vastu or Hindu home auspiciousness and design, and also use magic in cleansing, how magic plays a good part in trying to purify your home. Okay, and another bonus, I will be discussing how to use the ôKAMI incense in making your home, in purifying your home and making your home auspicious. Okay, so one disclaimer, the feng shui that I will be discussing, if I'm describing a particular feng shui cure in a certain area of the home, disclaimer, this will be applicable for the Chinese Lunar New Year of 2022 only. Okay? So you'll have an idea of how feng shui works, but every year it changes. Why? Because the stars, okay, in the position, Okay, right now we're in period 8. Okay, so period 8. So the star positions will change every year. So if you're viewing this late, let's say uh, by 2023 or on a future date, so it will just give you an idea, but it depends on the year. Another thing to bear in mind is for you to consider your, let's say, if you're the owner, or two of you, your wife or your partner, and the people living in your home, you may also want to look up your KUA number. Okay, so that's corresponding to your date of birth. So each individual has a very particular feng shui setup, and it changes every year depending on your birth date, your KUA number, and the year and the element of that particular year, and also the animal sign. So the information will change for each individual, but there is a general annual alignment in feng shui wherein you can set up your home to be auspicious. So in this series, it's going to be auspiciousness for the year 2022. Okay? So maybe on our maybe in the new years, we'll try to tackle the different feng shui gears for that particular year, or the arrangement of the flying stars. Okay. There's also something called as the 24 mountains on varying degrees, and directions. So there's a lot of exciting things that I'd like to share. So this is something that I enjoy doing, and I've been doing this for quite some time now, and it never fails. Okay, and you will be amazed if you try to apply these techniques and ways. These are ways of our ancient ancestors way back, and how they discovered auspiciousness, and how the elements and the energies harmonize and combine in order to bring that good flow of energy, or good chi. Okay, so let's just sit back and enjoy this particular series, because I'm pretty excited, because it will give me a chance to recalibrate the energies. Okay. Now, the first thing that we'll do, since we're moving, so let's say moving into a new home, or trying to get a new home. So the first thing is to determine, okay, your auspicious direction. Okay, so if you're moving for the year, the auspicious directions are south, okay, south direction, and northeast direction. Those are the directions wherein the energy of wealth, or the wealth directions for the year 2022. Now, this is also, let's say, if you consider your KUA number would tell you which direction will you be better living in. Like, let's say, if you're like me, for example, with my KUA number, I'm born in the year of the Earth Horse. My KUA number dictates that my direction for the year would be through the south. be more auspicious in the south direction. Okay, so just an example. Or let's say my daughter is a dragon, born in the water dragon. Her auspicious direction would be northeast. Okay, so we had to pick a place wherein it's auspicious for both of us. So if you have a wife or a partner, you would have to consider also their COA number or their birthday. Okay. So in choosing the direction where you're going to situate your home. Okay. So in this case, we picked a home wherein it's like uh, going to the direction of south, but making sure that the home is positioned in facing east or northeast. So we got a place that's in that particular position. Now, coming from an old place that we used to live in, so that's the first consideration that we did. Also, we are looking at, let's say, the energy factual based of the city or province, whether the province is like it has a high crime rate. Also, if there are constructions around the area that you're moving in, that's also a thing that you need to consider. Okay, so that means, let's say, if there's a high crime rate, it means that there's a considerable amount of short chi or bad chi in that particular area, and you don't want to be that's inauspicious. So you don't want to be in that particular area, or let's say that area is kind of located in a place wherein it's inauspicious for the year. Okay, so you don't want to be in that area as well. Let's say if it's in the east, that's an area wherein you have, for 2022, you have enemies in the east. So if you're moving towards the east direction from where you're situated, you're kind of going against the auspiciousness. So in my case, I can move here, since auspicious direction for me is south. I can go to the south direction, which is in this period is also considered as, and period A is south, on the year 2022 is wealth direction. So I'm going towards wealth, right? Okay, so it makes sense. So that's how we would consider moving towards a certain direction. Now, why do we want to be auspicious? Because we want the energy to work for us. So if you're auspicious, okay, there's least resistance in if you're making money moves, or if you're establishing a home or relationship or a family. There's very little resistance that you'll encounter. So less problems, more abundance, more good fortune coming in if you're auspicious. So there's just two things in Boston and Fengshui: auspicious, inauspicious. So there's two choices. They make it very simple. Our ancestors, like our Chinese ancestors, they make it very simple. Okay, there's two choices: auspicious, inauspicious. Okay, so okay, one thing to consider with the directions. So you want to also align with the elements. So when I say align with the elements, you have to know where. In Feng Shui, there's like 5 elements. You have fire, first element. You have earth. Okay, I'm trying to count. Okay, fire generates earth. and then earth generates metal, okay, and then from metal generates water, and from water it creates wood. So those are the 5 elements in Fengshui. Okay. So in magic, there's also those 5 elements, but they're kind of arranged in a different manner. Okay. So okay. I'm pretty sure you're kind of shocked because I'm talking about magic. But it's something that well, we all have that magic in our universe ever since. It never went away. The magic is still there. And whether you're in the West, the East, the South, the North, you'll find magic everywhere. Okay, magic in Chinese is Feng Shui. Magic in the West is called magic, Western magic. Magic in Japanese are sometimes practiced by Shinto religion. Magic in the natives are practiced by shamans. So there's a lot of great things. Some of you don't know that, let's say, in Jewish and Christian, they also practice magic. They just don't tell you. So, to be honest, I found out in a very geeky manner. So I like to research. So, and I found it in a geeky manner by studying, but I kind of stumbled upon that particular aspect of my life in a shadow negative sense. But since I'm a Scorpio, I was able to transmute the energy so that the energy will benefit me. So even if I was thrown a negative energy, I can just easily transmute and convert that to something great. Okay, anyway, so going back, so that's what's interesting about these so-called pseudoscience, but it's really just magic. Okay, so there's a lot of illusions in the world. Okay, so now, so we're gonna align with the elements, and the first element that you need to start with is the East. Okay, so East, as far as I know, corresponds auspiciously to the element of fire this year. So red, fire. Okay, so that's the East. Now, if you go on the north, okay, so that's East, Southeast. Okay, that corresponds to auspicious with the element of wood. Okay, in the South, again, that corresponds to the element of fire. So these elements and directions I'm stating, which is auspicious for the year 2022. Okay. Now we got South, Southeast. Okay, that corresponds to water and metal elements. Okay. Sorry, I think it's just water. Same with West. So West is auspicious, well, not very auspicious. Southeast, Southwest and West are not very auspicious, but with the element of water, you can control the inauspiciousness, lessen the inauspiciousness. Okay, so then we move on to the Northwest, which is auspicious to the earth element. Okay, and if we proceed to the north, that's auspicious. No, well, it's inauspicious, but that pertains to the metal element that can control that particular direction. If you go to the northeast, it's very auspicious because it's a wealth area, and it corresponds to the element of fire and earth. So to make that area auspicious, you have to have those elements. Now, okay, so that's very simple. Okay, now, all right. So in choosing this place, okay, I chose this place because one, I have a window facing east, which is a direction wherein the blessings can come in. Okay, the blessings can come in the east side. That's where the sun rises. Okay, and it's also partially in the direction of southeast, which is in my Kua number, which is auspicious for me. That corresponds to responds well auspiciously to the element of wood. Okay. Next, so south, there's a south corner here. I'll show you later. The south corner, okay, and located in the west is the kitchen. Okay, so south, southeast, that's pertaining to relationships. So it's very good for the element of fire. Okay. And southeast, okay, it's good for the element of water, and it's kind of inauspicious because it's a year breaker. So we have to be careful in that area. And our kitchen is located in the south on the west direction. So there's water there already, so it's going to be a control mechanism for us to be able to manage the inauspiciousness of the west area, because the west area of your home is inauspicious star, and the inauspicious star is relating to burglary or thievery. Okay, all right, so then we proceed to the northwest, which is earth energy. This particular area is, it's practically earth energy, but it's more for movement. Okay, so, and military activities, so, or athletic sports. So things with activeness. So if you activate this area, that particular area with earth energy, it will allow you to it's just earth. Earth energy is auspicious in the northwest. Okay. Now, the nice thing about this unit, why I picked this one, is because the restroom is in the north area. Now, you want the north area to have the restroom because that area is water. And since north is inauspicious because it's the three killings, so that particular area will be able to minimize the inauspiciousness because we have the restroom over there. Okay, so it kind of controls the water, and at the same time, that particular area is, you don't do anything, any kind of activity there that is pertaining to like lighting up a fire, or because fire element activates a certain area. Okay, like this one. This is red. Okay, so my color activates a certain area. But I'm on the east side, which is fire, so it's okay. Now, the only important thing is I don't directly turn my back on the east. So that's about this part. So I don't want to put my back there because that's going to affect my energy. Okay. Now, going to the northeast, which is very auspicious because this is where the Taiso, or the general of the year, is located. This is also the tiger area, northeast. So in the tiger area, you have the auspicious Jupiter. Okay, so Taiso is Jupiter. So as you can see, it's also almost the same elements as the magic in the West. So it's pertaining to the stars and the planets. So we have Jupiter in the northeast, which makes that particular area auspicious. However, there are rules not to offend Jupiter or Taiso. So in that particular regard, so I'm not trying to, okay, so I'm careful not to offend Jupiter, because Jupiter gives you big blessings, okay? Big blessings, okay? So I'm not gonna put any furniture that I'll be sitting facing the northeast, okay? So that's a tip. Don't sit and face northeast. You can sit, but your back has to be turned in the north, turned around at the northeast area so that it will be supporting. Okay, one quick tip. So if you're sitting and you're facing Taiso, that's very offensive. Okay, that's disrespect. The energy is like being forced against you. Okay, the force is against you. So there's resistance. So if you turn your back, and when you turn your back, it's the energy is supportive. If the energy is supportive, it's auspicious, it's supportive, you can turn your back. Okay? But if the energy is inauspicious, the direction is inauspicious, and you turn your back, the energy is kind of against you. Okay? It's like bearing down on you. Okay, so that's something that you might want to remember. Okay, so also, if you want your life to be very auspicious, you have to talk to your family members, because they may need to know that information so that everybody in the family will be in harmony. So from time to time, I update my daughter as to which is which. So we have an arrangement where we can sit the direction we're sitting, and a direction where we can sleep, a direction where we can eat, okay, or face when you're eating or studying. Okay, so those are the things that we try to incorporate in our lives so that we won't have resistance. Now, if you're going against the energy, so there's the risk of misfortune. So misfortune could be loss in business. If you kind of activated the 3 killings, death in the family. If you activated the West, which would be you put something red in the West, that would mean loss or someone stealing your property. If you activated the year breaker, which is a lot worse. So there's 2 things. If you don't offend Taiso, Jupiter, and you don't activate the year breaker, if you do, you're screwed for the entire year. Nothing that you do will result into any kind of success. Everything will be just going down the drain. Okay. So we've gone through that topic. Okay. Now, so that's how I consider this. I'm thinking of showing you what's inside. Okay. So I'm just gonna move the camera.